There has been a lot of news in the market over the last 24 hours. And if you guys haven't been picking up on it, we are getting a very obvious sense of where the market wants to go to. It wants to run to the upside. And it's really just a question of whether retail has enough confidence to keep moving the charts that direction. Do we have enough momentum to carry out of these price ranges we're at currently? So we're going to talk about all that in this video, but I do want to also talk about the major headlines surrounding Ripple and Circle, the creator of USDC. So again, if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support below. The channel's been growing like crazy, and it's all because of you guys. So what we're seeing today so far for XRP is another green day. That's not surprising. We have seen a lot of green, a lot of defensive price as of late, and that's not really surprising because we're starting to feel this sentiment shift across the crypto market. Yes, retail is gaining more confidence. We haven't quite had the push over the hump yet. And why I'm saying that is if we look at XRP here, you guys can see that we're currently sitting very much in line with our moving averages. We haven't, totally popped out of that range. We had the surge, obviously, that took place all the way back on the 28th to almost close the month, and then a retracement back down to where we're at currently. And it's a question of, do we have enough in the tank to try to make this extension once again? Can we, try to get past this 618 level that's really been a focal point of resistance as of late? And I'll talk about that more as the video goes on. But what I do want to point to here, just guys, in terms of the charts, just know that we are building a little bit of a head and shoulders. I'm not saying that this is going to play out for sure. This is kind of a small one. But obviously, if we do break down below here, we could be targeting kind of right around that $2.06 range. So that is 100% within the cards. You do have a bigger one playing out here as well. Here's the left shoulder there. Could see a potential right shoulder here, pushing us down even further. But that's my ominous view on this. All right. Now, that being said, let's look at the positives. One, we continue to hang around moving averages. That's a great sign. That's a good show of resilience in terms of XRP. Two, got a bullish flip on the 12-hour stochastic RSI. This usually indicates that it wants to make some sort of run to the upside. The last several times that we got crosses back here on the 27th, we saw XRP actually run from about $2.17 all the way up to about $2.35. Taking a look back here around April 18th, April 19th or so, we saw a nice run all the way up to, or from about $2.05 all the way up to about $2.30. So we're seeing some very consistent signs that XRP wants to make this next run. It's not totally separated here. It is on the bullish side, but we got some ground to make up here. We need volume across the crypto market. We need BTC to continue to show resilience. Luckily, institutional money has been buying BTC like crazy, and this is helping us reach some prices we have not seen since all the way back in February. And that is going to give us more confidence across the crypto market. Like I talked about in my ADA video earlier today, BTC Fear Greed Index is in the greed phase. The total crypto market Fear Greed Index is in the neutral phase. So retail is the lagging body right now. And that's fine because retail is the one that is really going to make this breakout pop. We're currently broken out above this local trend here, but really once we start getting past 3.18 trillion in terms of total market cap of crypto, so we have probably about, about a 7% move across the crypto market to go before we hit that. That is when things are going to start heating up. Now, what we are seeing for XRP is still huge accumulation, huge removal of supply from exchanges, huge hoarding. All right. And that's what we want to see. This week alone, another massive week, $126 million worth of XRP removed from exchanges. The prior week was $183 million, but it's very consistently, $50+ million a week. So people are not really wanting to unload their supply right now. That's a great sign. That is how you create a little bit of a supply shortage. That is how you start moving price to the upside. It's all looking really good on a fundamental standpoint. Now, some big things that have happened over the last 24 hours. The S&P closed its 8th consecutive day of gains. So that's a pretty big turn compared to all that red we were seeing, all this screaming of the worst stock market days in history, blah, 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 right? That didn't materialize. We're now seeing a lot of green. Also, North Carolina Senate passed a bill to create strategic Bitcoin reserves. You're seeing a lot of this news as of late. A lot of local state governments are passing these crypto strategic reserve bills. And I can't remember how many of them it is, but we're starting to see this accelerate. So that's a very good sign. Michael Saylor going to raise $84 billion to purchase more Bitcoin. Go figure. Europe preparing for a $50 billion trade offer for President Trump. So we're seeing a sea of good news across the crypto space. And we definitely needed it because these last several months have in fact been such crap. But I think the big news that hit the market yesterday was this news surrounding Ripple potentially acquiring Circle. Now, what we did see was there was an offer from Ripple to acquire them for $5 billion. And Circle did, in fact, reject this offer. Now, there is speculations, at least as of right now, that there is a second offer that is going to be going into Circle of $20 billion. And I'll be curious to see if that is, in fact, going to play out. And the reason why I'm saying that is, that is double the volume we're seeing in terms of USDC on the 24-hour. That's about 1/3 of the value of USDC in totality. So that's possible, right? That is a number that may in fact get the deal done. Now, why this would be so important, and some people are saying the reason why this is taking place is RLUSD adoption is not happening quickly enough. Maybe RLUSD was a strategy aimed at a Circle acquisition, basically kind of forcing their hand. In fact, where I live here, I remember there was a gas station. All right. There was a family that owned a bunch of gas stations, and basically Casey's General Store, which some of you might be familiar with, there are gas stations as well. They basically moved in, and what they said was, hey, we can either acquire you or we're going to build a gas station right across the street and put you out of business. So essentially a hostile takeover. It almost seems like that's what this may be, or some people are attempting to say this is going to be. But the reason why they might be doing this is it curbs competition. It gets them control of USDC. And this could be very important for a lot of other ecosystems. You might see USDC then tap into other ecosystems that it already doesn't exist in to help create further revenue, to help create more interoperability, to bring additional liquidity to XRP Ledger. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons why this would in fact be a very big deal, but it does in fact get, I would say, Ripple on a fast track to become the global payment system, to replace Swift, right? If you have a major stable, if you have, $60 billion worth of liquidity, well, I'd say that's a pretty big step in getting there. So that's just my thoughts. Now, that being said, again, it would not surprise me if we keep getting this good news, if we see a Circle acquisition, if we get a good jobs report. I mean, stuff like this could just slowly but surely carry XRP price higher. If we set a new local high here, if we attack about $2.40 or so, I'd say that's a really good step for XRP. Again, just higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Just continue on that path. We'll ride this into the sunset. But the biggest thing is just got to get past the hump in terms of retail. All right. And all the news that we're seeing may just be enough to get us there. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.